Allow me to share my screen. Yes, once again, I welcome you to Yaaka Digital Network, an online platform that offers you online classes, and you really are happy that you are part of this, and continue with your studies. Schools are closed, but it is good that you can continue studying with your gadgets that you have at home, and be able to access teachers and content. So we welcome you to this, and by names I'm Muhindo Joshua, the art instructor who is going to be taking you through art. And basically, let me switch on my camera for some few minutes so that you can see the person behind the camera. Hopefully, you have seen me. And let's go ahead with our lesson today. Uh, Here now, briefly, those are the services we offer. Online classes, you pay 500,000 and you access content and you have uh, get interaction with teachers and the assignments, work and everything the same way you do it at school. And basically, this is paid for a year. So we encourage all of you to subscribe for those who have not yet, and you should get the full package of our offer. Then, so yes, I had an assignment last week. We had an assignment, and this is the some of your works that you sent in. Basically, we are looking through designing a poster. And Christine, this is the work you posted, and it was really good. I'm really happy for the work you did. You used a digital tool, which is good, and yeah, I'm proud to share it on our screen today because it is really good. There is a concept of an artist in your work, and just even the slogan you put there is find your inner artist anytime, any day, anywhere. And that is the Yaaka Art Department. So we welcome you to join. And those of us who are artists, thank you for joining. Uh, the previous assignment, as you have seen her work, we were designing a poster for Yaaka Art and Design Department. Unfortunately, she did not put into consideration the other requirements for the poster. We had it, its objective is to empower the young generation with art survival skills. And their motto is empower youth for the future. And our restriction was use three colors. Going back to this is that, yeah, we have the Yaaka Art Department. So we missed out the word design, art and design department. Then the slogan is good, and it would have been somewhere of which we have seen it there, but it is not the one we wanted. So you would have created also what we wanted there. Then I love the way you played around with color. Unfortunately, you went beyond the limit we had agreed on. So, but besides that, your work is good, and I encourage you to design as many posters that you can do. Thank you so much. So that is our previous. For those who did not do it, just follow us on our YouTube channel, and you'll get all the notes you missed for art and design. And thank you. Then more to this. Today, we are going to be looking at a living person. Okay, living person is our topic today. Then mainly we are going to understand, we're going to be sharing more about drapery, and we shall understand drapery. As you can see in the image beside in the slide, is that we are seeing folds of a fabric in relation to a parcel, a shirt folded, and that is all we know about drapery. And that is what we mean by drapery in this context. But drapery is beyond this, whereby you can see it in curtains, you can see it in designing weddings, all that, but right, basically for us, we want to understand it in human figure drawing, that is a living person. So, and welcome once again to those who are on the call. Jovan, you're on the call, and I would want this conversation, this lesson to be interactive. So when I call out on you to participate, just briefly, just mute your microphone and either read what is on your screen or whatever I ask you to do. I want us to participate. Samsung Galax, I would love to know your name for better interaction. If you don't mind, you can just send it in the chat or open up your microphone and say out your name to us. Okay. Okay, Jovian, remove your video. Yes. Let us continue with our lesson. And as I've already introduced that we are doing living person this time around. Last week it was graphics designing, but this time around it's living person. What I want us to understand is that imaginative composition and living person, they are one paper. Okay, so a student who is doing art at senior 3 as you are, you select one of the two. Either you do living person or imaginative composition. But what I want to tell you is that all of them are good for us to be good artists. Don't say that imaginative is better than living person. Living person is better than imaginative. The reason why we study them all is for us to have skills about art. And as we start choosing from these two, it tends to bring us to a specific direction of how our art will look like. So imaginative composition and living person is the same paper, but you choose one of the two. And depending on where that you study from or what your passion is, you may either be given an opportunity to select what you choose, or the school by default may say, for us, we want to do human figure, or for us, we do imaginative composition. So it just depends where you school from, but all of them are good for us. All of them are good for us. And you need skills. And one of my lessons when we started these classes is that I was going through imaginative composition. And if you missed it out, just go on our YouTube channel and you will be seeing them there. You'll be seeing my first lesson and hopefully you enjoy it. So let us briefly go to today's lesson. So drapery is not only applied in a human figure in terms of art, but it is also applied in still life drawing. It's also applied in still life drawing. As you can see, this is the reason why I brought out this is because it applies everywhere. Not only do we study it in imaginative composition and in human figure drawing, but it also applies in still life drawing. So somewhere, somehow, still life drawing is a compulsory paper at our level, and don't be shocked for them to bring a fabric that has drapery in it. In other words, the folds that are created based on how it is placed on an object, as you can see in the still life drawing before you there. That is one of my work that I created some time back, and basically you can see how I achieved the drapery on this in relation to how it was placed on the chair. So that is just outside the box of our lesson, but I wanted us to know that it is very, very important for us to know that even in still life drawing, it is going to be broad. Yes. So just continuing is what we should be knowing by now. Okay, what we should be knowing by now. What we should be knowing by now is that capturing human posture using a stick man. The reason why I'm saying this is because these are things we have studied in our senior 1 class and in our senior 2. So by now I understand that we should be able to do this. And those who are on the call, you are joining in. Just to hear from you, we have Patrick and Jeremiah, you are on the call. Just say hi to us.
Hello, sir.
How are you?
I'm good, sir.
Where did you join in exactly when we started the lesson?
Whereby you were telling us about the different papers that we
Okay.
don't have. Yes.
Yes. Okay, and Patrick, you're also on the call. If you can't open up your microphone, just send a text in the chat and I will be reading it out to all of us, which we are all seeing. Basically, yes, thank you guys for joining. And I was going through what we should be knowing by now. So by right now, we should be knowing how to capture human posture using a stick man. And I said this, we are taught it in senior 1. It is very key for us. And by now, we should have a clue on how to achieve different postures, even without you seeing a live person standing there for us to draw. Just from imagination, we just create different postures, as you can see with this. And more to that, is a building up form of a human body on the stick man. So they have the first thing I said, we should be able to draw a stick man. And the other thing we should be knowing by now, for those who are in senior 3, is the ability to create form. And when I talk about form, basically is the roundness of the structure of the object you are drawing. So with this, you should be able to create form, the 3-dimensional aspect of a living person. Those are lessons we go through in senior 2 and senior 1. So the reason why I'm bringing out drapery is that by now we have got to know how to draw a human body in terms of structure. But now we want to go into studying how to add drapery, how to understand the fabric they are putting on the clothes, the trousers, and any other additional cloth they put on for them to achieve, for them to be really put before us to draw. And yes, guys, you are still joining in. You are most welcome to those who have just joined in. So Patrick, your video is on. I would request you to put it off. And in case you have something to say, you just have to raise up your hand or extend it in the chat. So, yes, Bavideo, you have also joined in. You're most welcome. And just continuing with our lesson is that by now, I expect us to be knowing this. And if you don't do imagine a human figure, but you do imaginative composition, still you need this knowledge of art, of drawing human figure. Because, well, once you can only draw what you imagine if you have experienced or you have tried out what you are seeing. So that's why it is very important for all of us to be here. Christian, you have also joined in. You are most welcome. Before you joined in, your work was one of the first things on our slide. And I was appreciating you, the fact that you are sending your work, and it was really good. I love the love I'm seeing in your work. Join Yaaka Art Department, find your inner artist anytime, any day, anywhere. Although you have sent me an email right now and I've read it, but just know that also this is a work of art that deserves to be appreciated. Thank you so much. Then let us just go back to where I was. So what we should be knowing by now, I've already explained that. Building up form of a human body, I've also explained that. On a sick man, I expect us to be knowing this. Then drapery. Here comes now us to participate in our lesson, and I will request one of us to read out the slide. So as I said, just feel free when I call out your name to read for us and give us your idea and your extension about this. And right now I want Jovian, just unmute your microphone and read to us what you are seeing on your slide, on your screen.
Drapery.
Yes.
Cloth gracefully draped and ranged in loose fold.
Okay.
Many drapery studies will involve you looking and understanding, selecting and interpreting, as well as imagination. In this topic, you are going to make studies of a draped human figure, based on your observation with people around you.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you for extending in that. And basically, as you have studied, as you have read it, and that's how it is. So making drapery studies will involve you looking and understanding selecting and interpreting, as well as using imagination. So it involves us critically looking at what we are drawing and trying to understand. In terms of understanding, I mean the movement of the folds and also the change, and also understanding light effect on the folds created, which we call drapery on the human form. And it is very important for us to know this. And basically this topic, by the end of this topic, I want all of us to be excited on trying out something in terms of a human figure with drapery seen on their body. So based on your observation with people around you. Yes, so from where you are, Jovian, as you are sharing us what you say, as you are reading to us, I heard the people in the background, and you will use those as your specimen, okay? You'll use them, just make them to pause and really see and clearly understand how the folds are created on their bodies. Then try out one, okay? We're having more people joining in, and I'm glad of that. So just go to the next slide. These are some of the procedures that we should put into consideration. First of all, begin with a rapid sketch of various ideas, followed by more definitive drawings. So as you can see on this slide is that these are 3 of them on one page. And what you see is that the artist basically is trying to capture the posture. He has not yet gone into details of studying drapery, but he's basically studying the posture, and from that, the next step will be choosing one he or she will go for to study more drapery and give us details of in this drawing. And I don't know if there is anyone who has something to say about this. But if there is no, I will just go ahead with our next slide. And put it in mind that the first procedure we should follow is begin with a rapid sketch. And when we talk about a rapid sketch, it should not take you more than 30 minutes, okay? A rapid sketch, basically, you try to depict the posture and some effect of light in relation to in relation to the body or the person you're drawing. So it is very key for us to have it in mind. 20 minutes are good for a sketch. 15 are good, and the more you practice, the more you'll easily draw these sketches quick and achieve good works as you continue. So procedure 2, I would love Christine, you're on the call. Can you please read to us what you're seeing on your slide, on your screen?
Somebody that could help. Hello, Kristen. This is Patricia from Yaaka DN. For purposes of monitoring our online classes, kindly share with me your contact. Please send it to Patricia UMC, not to everyone. We'll be waiting.
Okay. Yes, Christine, you have thank you for that. Jeremiah, please can you read what you're seeing?
Becoming familiar with the work of drapery, hint that to the human figure form. Continue drawing that naturally.
Okay, thank you. Basically, as you have said it, is that after you have achieved the first procedure of making quick sketches, now get more to understand how the drapery is being formed on the person you're drawing. And as you can see in this drawing, we achieve drapery by critically following, first of all, the movement of line and also the tonal variation. Those are the very key things that we consider when we are to achieve good drapery. So understand how the fabric is moving in relation to the body. And I think this slide shows it all. Yeah, then more to that, their movement follows the underlying form of the body. And what I mean here is the drapery, the movement of drapery follows the underlying form of the body. In other words, as you can see, is that the reason why folds may create on a cloth of someone who is putting it on is because of the inside parts, which is the skin and the foam. As you can see with this drawing, that lines move in relation to what is inside the body. And you can see on this hand is that all these are moving from one direction. The dark tones are moving from one direction in relation to the roundness of the hand you are seeing there. Then also you can see this lady's hand, that drapery is formed according to her hand, the way it was, the way it is, and also how the fabric is moving on the hand. So in simple terms, it is very important for us to critically observe, as we said in one of the slides, that you should critically observe how it is made up and how it can be achieved better through drawing. And I said the way we achieve through drawing is using lines and tones that vary in their strength in relation to the effect of light. So let us understand this and highly treasure it. So the next slide, you can see these images I would love us to participate. Jovian, where do you see how do you see these drawings, and how did the artist achieve drapery in these drawings? Tell us what you're observing and what you have to say about it. Your microphone is muted. We can't hear you.
The one on my left hand side has many folds, which are dark, but the other one on the right hand side, the folds are not all that dark.
Okay. Thank you for the observation. Yeah, we have heard you. Unfortunately, to me, you're a bit low, but I've heard your inputs. Anyone else? Jeremiah on the call, tell us, how do you see drapery being achieved in these drawings? Jeremiah? Okay, let's just continue. Jovian, you are telling us, and through tones, the artist has used these, has achieved drapery, and also through lines, we can see that there is some form of drapery. And basically, drapery happens to everyone who is dressed up with a cloth. So even as you can look at yourself, you will see that on your cloth you're putting on, there are some drapes that are being formed just because of how the body inside is placed, or just how you have changed your hand, or you have placed your hand somewhere, or your sitting posture will make you see that there are folds somewhere in on your body. More to that, yeah, in this next slide, we have two drawings. One is a drawing and another one is a painting. So the painting of Mona Lisa is one of the paintings that is really treasured in history, and up to now it is still being treasured. One of the reasons is because of how the artist achieved drapery on this drawing. This painting of Mona Lisa, as you see, is that the artist really spared a lot of time to study the drapery on how this beautiful lady, on the drapery of the beautiful lady in relation to the clothes she was putting on. And it has been highly been treasured by the Italians because of just one of the things is drapery on the clothes, and also the background. But more to us today, we want to really look at the drapery. Yeah, just spare some time and look at it. Mona Lisa is really a good painting. And besides it, there is a sketch that one of my friends did not finish, but you can see the concept was for her to achieve the form of a human, but more to it, also get to show us how drapery was moving on the drawing. Yeah, I love what this guy had started with, and of which we can see that using those lines, you can already see that there's a lot of good drapery to be studied. Yeah, so more to this, I would say that we should also try as many as we can, and I'll be happy to receive our works. But before I go through this, I would love to hear from us guys who are on the call. Jeremiah, what do you have to say about this? Jeremiah on the call, what do you have to say about this? Okay, Gabby, you're also on the call. You're most welcome. Say something about what you have been seeing on your screen. Okay, just to continue with what we are going on is that one thing I want us to remember when you are creating these artworks or drapery on in human figure is that it is essential to estimate the scale of one part of the human figure correctly in relation to the rest in order to get the right proportions. Get used at looking at things in this way, at noting whether one part is bigger or smaller than the other, and if so, by how much is it bigger or smaller than the other. So this is very, very important. And basically, to summarize these slides, I'm basically emphasizing proportionality. When you are going to be drawing the human figure, we should consider the proportionality of the body we are drawing. And proportionality is basically this is the relation of different parts of the composition with others in order to achieve accurate drawing in relation to what we are seeing. So proportionality is very key, and it is one of the things they will consider when they are marking your human figure drawing. So when you create a drawing in human figure, we shall be critically going through how big is the head in relation to the other parts of the body? How long is the hand in relation to the leg? If you make the hand to be too long than the leg, you may lose out some marks just because your work is not proportional. So as you are drawing your works at home, wherever you are, have it in mind that your work should be proportional, and it is very key. As you can see this. So on one side, we see that in this drawing, the artist is showing us that we should consider how big is the head in relation to the whole body. And I often, even in your schools, I know your teachers talked about this, that, okay, the human body has over 8 to 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so 8 of them make up the whole body. So when you are drawing, you should say, okay, basing on the size of the head, my other parts of the body should occupy this whole part. And on the other side, here it is the technique we use for you to achieve the proportion by using your pencil. So you just hold the pencil the way you can see that image, and make your hand to look straight. Then with your one eye, critically start measuring different parts and you relate them to others so that you can achieve a proportional drawing. I think that this is all clear. Yeah, before I call us out to participate and let me know and put in all your inputs in relation to what we have been studying. It will be, I'm going to share the assignment I want us to do. 1, observe a clothed human figure from your home. So wherever you are, critically observe what is there, the people you are around with, and try to see how drapery is formed on the person you are going to draw. It is very important. Then, since people may not be there for you to draw them until you finish, and you have a gadget like your phone, I recommend that you take a picture of that person with their approval. Don't just take and they see you taking them unless you are too close to them. They are your brothers, your sisters, and there's nothing that will hinder your relationship. So take a picture of the person you have studied critically in mind. I mean, studying the drapery of how the fabrics have created folds in relation to how the post he or she is sitting, or he or she is sitting or standing. Then start drawing the posture. Start drawing these people, the person you have selected, either from image, and if they can stay and wait for you until you achieve your quick sketch, as we said, it is okay. Draw them, and I would love to have stages of what you have done. Then ignore patterns, and I mean, when I say patterns, you never know, the person you are drawing may be having a checked dress or a checked shirt, or a cloth that is having a lot of patterns. What I want to say is that you should ignore those and concentrate on the folds that describe the form. That is very key, and it is what I want us to try out. So thank you so much for being part of this lesson. Right now, I want to hear from you guys what you have to say about what we have studied, and if you have any inquiry or anything you want to extend to the rest of us, this is the time. The floor is open. Jovian, have you understood each and everything?
I'm very sorry about everything, but that's in that question.
Pardon, Jeremiah?
I'm very sure when you're asking that question, so I have to answer because I'm having some difficulties with my phone. I'm indeed very sorry.
Oh, unfortunately, your network is breaking. If it is okay, you can post in the chat. I will be able to read it. Yes, someone says, thank you for the lesson. Yes, Jeremiah, I'm waiting for your text in the chat because your network was not that good. I could not hear what you are saying. Jovian, you have something to say?
No, sir.
Yes, tell us. Or you don't have something to say? We have Yvonne. You're also on the call. We would love to hear from you. We also have Haman. If you have something to say to us, we would love to hear from you. Okay. So basically, in case we don't have any more input towards what we have been studying, yes, so Yvonne say I've just arrived, but I think I will join next time. Yeah, you're most welcome. And in case you missed out the lessons, just go on the YouTube channel for Yaaka Digital Network, and you'll be able to access everything you missed. Just a quick review from what we have been studying. For those who have just joined, I will. So some of you may ask, how if I finish my work, how should I go about it in terms of sending it to me? You just have to either send it on my WhatsApp number or my email, of which I will send to you in the group. Jeremiah, you have said thank you for the lesson, but I was unable to answer because I had some problem with my phone. But where do we post the homework? Okay, yes, that's what I was explaining right now. Thank you, Jeremiah, for that. Sorry about the problems you had with your phone. You extend the homework to my WhatsApp number, which is on your screen right now, 0706171351. Yes, that is my WhatsApp number, and it is in the group. If you go through the people in the group, you will see my number there, and it has Luanzo art on it. So you can extend your work on there. As I said, I will need process, like just capture every stage you take when you are doing this work. Then more to it, I will say, if you are okay with an email, just forward it on my email. I will also be sending it in our class group, and basically that's it. Unless anyone else has something to say, but I will just recap on these slides by summarizing them all. So I welcomed you and we said this. So Christine sent me this, but I saw an email coming in. I'm going to read it out. I'm going to review it after the lesson. So our previous lesson was all about designing a poster, and the poster was Yaaka Art and Design Department. And the reason behind it, the objective behind it is to empower young generation with art survival skills. Then our motto is empowering youth for the future. And our restriction was using 3 colors. This was really very good for you to try out. And if you have not yet tried out, you can also take this opportunity to try it out, and it will be good if I receive your works. For those who are on this call today that we are not on the previous call we had, then we were basically understanding drapery, and this is living person, of which I said is very important. The same paper with imaginative composition. So you just have selected living person or imaginative composition. And I said drapery also applies in still life drawing. They will give you a composition with a fabric. That is one of my drawings. And you should be able to draw it. So then I said, you should be able to capture, you should be able to know this, because we studied this in senior 1 and senior 2, understanding the form and the creating form on a stick. Then I said drapery introduction. I said the procedure is you should be able to make quick sketches that depict the posture of the person you're drawing. Then also go in to understand the movement of drapery in relation to the posture of a person, okay? And I said we achieve it using lines and tones, adding tones on the lines you have created. Then I said the drapery basically it bases on the underlying structure. So the hand inside will affect how the drapery will be formed. Okay, and also we should consider the effect of light. How light affects the cloth will also show us drapery. Then we had these images seeing how different artists achieved drapery and the proportion of the human body. We had this, how Da Vinci, Michelangelo, achieved drapery in this painting of Mona Lisa. It was really very, very good, and it has still stayed on market up to now just because of his patience to do each and everything in detail. The image may not be clear because it is a painting that has been in existence for over 200 years. So to that we had this artist was showing us, this is a incomplete work of art, but he was showing us lines how they are going to be used to create tones so that we can achieve drapery. So that is it. Then we should remember that proportionality is very key in human figure drawing. That's what I said. And as you draw, have it in mind. Then here I was showing you proportionality. How big is the head in relation to the body? How big is the head in relation to the hand? How long is the hand in relation to the leg? So all those should be put into consideration when you are drawing human figure. Then besides that drawing, the image I showed you, one of the technique we use is all about you stretching out your hand, holding your pencil, and you stretch your hand straight. Then you close your one eye and extend it and try to measure the different parts in relation to the others. So basically that's a technique that is very important for us to put into consideration. Then the assignment is this. Someone has something to say? Okay. Yeah, let me check in the chat here. Yes. Thank you for the lesson, Jovian says so. You're welcome. And so that is the assignment I created for us. Then thank you. So if there's nothing else, is that to say our lesson has come to an end, and I really appreciate you being part of it and participating. Yaaka Digital Network, we are here for you. And for those who have not yet subscribed, please don't forget, convince your parents, tell them of the good thing with this, and you will keep on learning, and we are here for you to give you these services. I love you all, and I'll be excited to receive your works. Have a good day today.